Welcome to the latest episode of Branding the Experience, where we discuss ways where we can create environments where employees actually want to come to work and customers want to keep coming back. Hi, I'm Ken Bader, your host for Branding the Experience, and you caught me watching a great interview that I recently did with Michelle Lewis, the Visibility Vixen, who gives us some great tips on how to improve our brand. Let's watch. I'm here with the Visibility Vixen herself, Michelle Lewis, and she's going to talk to us about some of the great work that she's doing with entrepreneurs out here in beautiful Burbank, California. I'm so glad that the rain stopped for our quick interview. Michelle, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much. It's so good to see you and meet you in person finally.
So great to have you. We're PBI Method alumni, and we finally got to meet in person. But and you obviously learned a lot from that program, because I see your social media posts, and there's no question how passionate you are about helping women entrepreneurs. Tell me a little bit about that passion and how that started.
Awesome. Well, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me on the show. I started in the TV film world, which I loved, but the hours were so insane. You know, working on a film set for 12 to 14 hours a day, it just was not conducive to the lifestyle I wanted to create. And so I started really feeling into what can I do? How can I serve? How can I be a best benefit? And so I thought, well, there's a lot of online coaches out there. There's a lot of female entrepreneurs. I wonder if they have the kind of know-how of how to get more visible in terms of video, in terms of being able to hop on a live stream and be able to bring their personality. And so when I started bringing that into the online space, it filled a huge need.
Sure.
So that kind of opened my eyes to how I could help people with their video and their branding and their systems. And it just kind of snowballed from there and has been such an incredible journey. But now I definitely feel like I'm on my dime of where I'm supposed to be and doing what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know exactly. You know, I've had the pleasure to talk to hundreds of entrepreneurs, and I always love the story behind it. Yeah, there's never a, I woke up this morning and I decided to bake muffins at a bakery. And it's like, no, this happened and that happened, and therefore I'm here now. What are some of the biggest problems that you help your clients solve?
I like to start with the issues that are holding female entrepreneurs back from visibility. Okay. And that always is more of mind, body, spirit issues, because as women, we usually go through traumas, whether that be bullying or parental or in relationships, that makes us feel that we are not deserving of being able to be more visible online in our business in any way. So a lot of women have a hard time actually pressing that record button, actually posting a photo of themselves in a Facebook group, because there's all those subconscious issues. So that's where I like to start with women, to get them to a point through my Life Reboot course where they can feel like I'm resolved, I know what my mission is, and I'm ready to step out. Once they've done that, I take them into branding, and we look at color in a really specific way of how it can best serve your clients, which is really fun. And like a little tidbit of that is like, if you're trying to help your clients with like coaching in their relationships, then a great color for that is purple, because purple really works with the kidneys, which is our relationship organ. Wow. So we go through that journey, and then we get to the point where they're ready to start doing video. And that's where me and my husband have our joint course called Video University. Okay. And we take them through all the technical know-how and how to present themselves really well on camera, even like editing and all that. So they just, my mission is to take all of that confusion away from branding and video and all of that, so they can focus on their message. Sure. They can focus on their creativity. So that's pretty much what I do, which I love.
That's awesome, and I'm really glad to hear about the purple. There must be there must be some type of telepathic memo that I got, because
you're wearing it.
I kid you not. We did
I'm
not.
Purple too. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, we did not coordinate.
Together.
we did not. No blonde jokes. Hey, at least
no bald jokes either.
I was gonna say, at least you have hair. But we did not confer before this interview, and we both ended up wearing purple.
We did.
But I've seen online, and I'm hearing right now all of the very deep and, for lack of a better word, holistic type of programs that you offer clients. And I've personally seen quite a bit of very valuable content that you put out there. I understand that you recently rolled out an app where your clients and your prospects can get basically almost all of that content, if not all, in one place. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, what I wanted to do is, I feel like a change in the industry is happening, and people don't want to constantly have to get on their computer to take a free training, take a free course, take even paid courses. They don't want to have to only be able to access that from their computer, or like going onto Safari on the browser of their phone and trying to get that to work. So what I did is I have my Visibility Vixen app, and that's where people can go to see my blogs, my newest podcasts, and all of my free business trainings, videos from YouTube, that kind of stuff. And then I have individual apps for each of my courses. Okay. So those are members only, but what's great is that, like, why I never finished courses I took was because I'd have to sit behind the computer, right? So this way, if they're at the gym, if they're driving in the car, they can listen to it, or they can watch it if they're like at a coffee shop like this, and just plug in their password on their phone and be able to watch that. So I just felt like it would make it easier. It's a little bit more exciting. It's a little bit more accessible to be able to just whip out your phone and see everything right there.
Sure. And then you can take it anywhere. You can even be on one of those annoying treadmills and actually be doing something a lot more fun
and productive.
Productive. You could be learning from Michelle.
Exactly.
Do you have maybe one great success story that really stands out in your mind from helping somebody as the Visibility Vixen?
Oh, that's hard. Yes, of course. There's a lot of them. I would have to say, can I have two?
You can. Okay. Well, we'll edit the second one out, but you can have two.
The first one is a dear, sweet friend named Krista, who was really feeling blocks in wanting to become more visible, specifically as an actress. Okay. And so she went through my Life Reboot course, and so she would send me messages throughout about how these different videos touched her. And by the end, when she watched my Healing Places in America documentary, she was just all tears, and to be able to get at the end of it the words from her of, I finally feel like I'm able to let go of all the garbage of my past and start creating who I am myself. Like, that's the best feeling in the world. Like, yeah, of course I get things like, oh, video, you help me make great videos, and that's awesome. But if it actually caused a change in your spirit, where you feel like you're stepping into your mission of what you're meant to do, that's everything.
Well, that's a change at the core.
Yes.
I mean, that's the ultimate for what people like us do. If you're just changing something on the surface, nothing will really change. But if you really change behavior, you change something at the core. That's the ultimate.
Yeah. So I think that meant the most to me when it's such a life-changing course, because those are all the steps I had to go through, like I told you, when I was sick and on bed rest, to get to the point I am now. So that means so much to me. My second one would probably be the dear Miriam, who now has a YouTube channel and training videos, and she's going to be starting a podcast soon, and she's just such a beautiful light that to be able to have helped support her to get to this point. She's now in a mastermind with me because I just fell in love with her. Those things are so great too, to be able to create that community. And it's all about finding those connections, because sometimes the people that are your students become your friends, or they become in a mastermind with you. And that's what's so great, because then you have that support, because it can be, it's kind of isolating. You're behind your computer, you go into the submarine for a couple hours a day, and so to have that kind of support has been fantastic.
Well, going back to how we met through PBI Method, I've made so many great contacts and friends, and it's one of those situations where it's easy for one of us to understand the trials and tribulations, because we're going through it or going through something similar or have gone through it. And if it's none of those, you will go through eventually.
Yeah, eventually.
I know that, from a branding standpoint, there are so many different things that go into building a great brand, so many elements to that. But if a business owner came up to the Visibility Vixen and said, can you give me just one tip that I could implement tomorrow that's going to help my business at least a little bit, what would you tell them?
The question I always like to start with is, why did you pick your colors?
Interesting.
And usually it's, well, I really liked this color, or I like this color combination. And I say, well, okay, but how do those colors serve your audience? And it's such an unknown kind of realm that a lot of the time the answer I get is, I don't know. And that's okay. But for me, when I was able to step out specifically with blue, red, and yellow, because I knew what each color did and how it could support, it really changed things for me. And so, like, I went to the Entrepreneur Edge Live, which was an event led by Joanna Turner a couple months ago. And she was the leader of it, right? And I went up to introduce myself, and she goes, oh, aren't you Michelle? I recognize blue dress, right? And I was like, Joanna Turner knows me! So I think that starting at the basics, starting at the core, what do your colors mean? What is your mission statement in terms of who do you serve? And is that really clear? It's like how I say when you're offering your services, it's really like a menu description. Someone's picking up a menu and they're looking at all of these different dishes they can order. So your dish has to stand out. It has to be really clear on how it can help them so that they know how to choose it. And I find that the biggest problem that we deal with in our branding and our business is lack of clarity.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep, I know exactly what you mean, and I see it all the time. So for all those ladypreneurs out there that truly need your help and want to work with you, what's the best way for them to contact you and find you?
I'm pretty much everywhere, like not in an egotistical way.
And she's actually not kidding. I can't pull up Facebook or YouTube like, oh, it's Michelle again.
Yeah, there she is.
And she's wearing purple or blue.
You can find me at visibilityvixen.com. Otherwise, I'm on Instagram and Twitter at the same handle. You can reach out to me on Facebook. I have a free Facebook group called Visibility Vixen. We'd love to have you join. And, it's all about just supporting each other and having fun stepping out in visibility. That's what it's all about.
Check out the Visibility Vixen. And Michelle, it was awesome having you today.
It was so much fun, Ken. Thanks so much.
You. So, what can we learn from that discussion and from Michelle? Well, we can learn a ton of things from Michelle, but two specific points that I do want to make on our conversation. One was something that I learned, or at least got reminded of, is how important color is. Granted, we always talk about branding the experience and how we're creating an experience for our customers, clients, or members, but color is a very important aspect to our marketing. It's even very important in terms of our surroundings. It's frankly, since graphic design is not one of my areas of expertise, something that I always struggle with. But from an experience standpoint, even from a bank or a credit union or a restaurant, we want to have certain colors that are going to not only align with who we are, but also create the right experience for our customers and prospects. And also the value of color in terms of our personal brand when we're out there in the public. Something that I certainly am thinking about when I'm doing speaking sessions and working face-to-face with clients. So thank you on that one, Michelle. Number two is a subject that I've talked about a number of times that Michelle also spoke of, which is so important, is finding clarity. Writing down that vision, understanding exactly what problem you solve and who you want to serve is really important. As Michelle said, there's a menu of different items and services that people can choose from out there. We need to make sure that we're very clear on the problem that we solve and why we're the proper solution for you. So thank you for spending some time with me today. Hope you learned a lot from the show. I'm sure you did. And here's hoping that you're branding the experience at your unique business at a very high level. Take care.